Well, the rain has stopped for now. It's been a lot of rain coming down early hours of the morning. Workers are not working today. I guess it's because of the weather. I see Chris isn't here, so on the compound, he's in his house, so I assume he's got work on at the barangay. Anyway, we'll be patient. You know, it's not a question of we're in a major rush. We want to rush things. No, we don't. Coming back to this place I enjoy and live, and and Richie enjoys and lives as well. Yeah, even when things are not going quite according to plan, our building is slowed down quite a lot in the last few weeks. Doesn't matter, life's the journey. Life's the journey. We don't want to change the way things happen here. We want to go with the flow of it, and that's what we're doing. So when the guys are ready, when they've got the right support behind them, when the weather's right, and actually the sun's starting to come out at the moment, beautiful, we go with it. But we're not getting ourselves frustrated over things. There's floods going on everywhere in the country. There's all kinds of hassle in the world. There's wars going on. We're all right here. We eat well, we sleep well, we enjoy life around us. We're not in a hurry. We don't need to do things like yesterday. This isn't the UK. We're living in the province in the Philippines. We'll go at the pace of the province. And this is my point about how one has to adjust to living a life over here. If this was happening in the UK and you had to get certain things done and you had a schedule, you'd be pulling your hair out saying, but why aren't things happening fast enough? And that's the problem with the world. That is the problem with the world. Here, that doesn't matter. It's not important. And you mustn't make it important in your life. You must go with the flow of life here. There are more important things in life. Important things in life, like saying nice things to people all the time, walking the dogs who enjoy a walk, having a great lunch that Richie took time to prepare. Well, select first of all from what she could find in the market and prepare. I've had changing the subject again, I've had a couple of chickens die on me. And Chris, being a farmer, yesterday I got him to look at them very carefully. And he says no, he doesn't think it's avian flu, which was my worry. I was worried that we've suddenly picked that up here. It didn't. And anyway, he checked the two birds, and they had no signs or symptoms, and it doesn't seem to be on others. So strange. They had no dog attack marks on them as being attacked or ravaged by dogs in any way. He thinks, although they come to their end in the same location, so he thinks it's snakes or a snake that happened to cross their path at the wrong time, and they happen to be in the wrong place. Oh gosh. Goodness me. Hello. Yes, what have you got to say? This is George's son. Hello. Hello. No, he's going to shut up now. The joys of living in the countryside. Actually, they're talking to each other. Probably saying, have you seen that snake? I'm not sure. But with the foliage growing higher, and you know, we've got a lot of material, building material around us. Bamboo particularly, and it's a haven for snakes, actually. The chickens don't particularly like rain, but they like what the rain does. You know, they forage, and in the earth being softer and more moist, and also it brings things like worms up to the surface, which they enjoy, and other little grubs and things which they enjoy. So they enjoy that. So getting out into the fields during the day is what they all enjoy doing. And then obviously coming back before the sun comes down, and they still come back all the time for their grub. And George, who's the chief man around here, the chief head cockerel, head rooster, he tends to hang around in this area all the time anyway. He doesn't go too far away. Well, none of them go too far away, but they you know, there's lots of little places where they go and enjoy their lives. Ah, George has arrived. I would certainly recommend people who enjoy the countryside in particular, or who have a real desire to live a more simple lifestyle in the countryside, quality lifestyle in the Philippines. Yeah, get yourself a few chickens. You don't have to have as many as we've got here, but you know, get yourself half a dozen chickens and a dog, and you know, you can do all kinds of things. You know, get into vegetables and get into fruit trees and creating food, and you know, you can really have a wonderful life here. I would recommend it. You know, get into local food and get into, you know, maintain your desires and things you like of the food you like from the West as well. You can have both here. You know, it's everything. You know, Richie, as I said, she makes fantastic pork pies, chicken pies, fish and chips. Here's some fish and chips we had the other day. Have a look at this. Okay, we have lunch today. We have some chips, or potato wedges actually, with some nice fish, fried fish, and some tartare sauce, done with perfection, of course, by the madam. And I've got to say, the fish and chips we enjoy here is better than the fish and chips we have in England, really. You know, Harry Ramsden's and all these things, yeah, they're great. I used to love my fish and chips. Harry Ramsden's at Heathrow Airport before I used to fly back to the Middle East or fly to South Africa. But actually here, you know, doing it yourself, there's no Harry Ramsden's here. There should be, actually, it would do well here. But there's an abundance of fish, and there's a number of great fish, white fleshy fish you can use to replace cod or haddock that are just as flavoursome, in fact more flavoursome than cod and haddock in my opinion. And you can just do it all here. It's here, you know. Hello, George. He's got a bit of a limp, the old boy. No, he could have been in a fight. It was just age catching him now. Yes. the thing with animals around you, these birds and animals. You become attached to them. So when you suddenly have some going, he's going to sit in the sun, chill out. Yes. Yeah, well, you become attached to your animals around you, don't you? That's the thing. Once you start taking responsibility for looking after them. And chickens, I just fell into. We were living in this house closest to us at the time, and the chicken coop used to be sort of just behind where we built the house here now. And I used to watch Nanai and Tatai from the kitchen window coming down. I was making coffee in the kitchen, and I observed them coming down quite slowly, you know, to come down and open the chickens out and let them out and feed them and whatever. And I was standing and I was telling Richie, you know, surely someone else can do this job, help them there. You know, he's in his mid-80s and she was in her 80s as well. And so I took over. I said, no, I'll do this. And you chill out. So I relaxed. They relaxed and I got into the chicken game, as it were. And I've been doing it ever since, getting to know more about them, obviously. Yeah, George has got a problem with his leg, there's no doubt. How you doing, matey? See how he walks. Hello, come on. Hello. The thing is, he trusts me so much, he's not going to. Yeah, he's limping, you can see. Can't see anything wrong with it there. He's got it off the ground. Hey, let's have a look, see if I can see anything on there. No, I can't see any obvious damage. No, you've been fighting, I think, haven't you? I've just been filming and looking at the chickens down the bottom. George is limping a lot now, which worries me.
He's heavy.
He's very heavy. He's old as well.
Yes.
Well, we all do that.
Yes, he's running after them.
Well, I do that, but I don't limp.
Are you running after the young lass, Daddy?
I've got a young lass. I don't need to run after anymore, do I? I've got a young one. That's what I'm saying.
The young lass cannot run.
I've got a young lass, but I'm not limping.
The young lass cannot run fast anymore.
Notice the young lass hasn't done the washing up.
You know
She's still
what?
busy doing her home accounting. What are you doing? Some home accounting?
The old man used to be helping with the washing. You know?
Yeah, but you said come to the Philippines. You'll have lots of people here to help you. You won't need to do any washing up in the Philippines. Just another loaf of bread that's come out of the oven, or came out of the oven last night. We just I had a couple of rolls actually, so we haven't cut into this loaf yet. But yeah, fresh bread, bacon butties for lunch.